All right. Good morning, world. Mike, Newfound Pass, this Wednesday hangout. Today we have Craig, the land shark picker, on with us. Say hi to everyone, Craig.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
From here on out, we're going to, probably me and Craig, and we may have another person every once in a while, but pretty much just us two. So, yeah, good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. Everything's going crazy over here. So, yeah, good morning, Monty. Good morning, Piper John. Hope everyone's doing well today. I usually just kind of BS until the numbers get up. But
yeah,
Craig and I were just talking about, trying to identify patterns and trends in eBay, and there's no way to do that. But you just see your own personal stuff. You're like, well, for me, it was like Tuesdays and Thursdays have been absolute crap recently.
right. And you don't know whether it's based on your activity or just, eBay in general on those days, using Tuesday and Thursday, do you do more on a Wednesday and a Tuesday and a Wednesday to, make your Tuesday, those other days more productive,
So, yeah, you're right. Like, should I be introspective? What are my habits on those Monday and Wednesday?
Right.
Am I causing something to be bad on Tuesday and Thursday? And it's possible,
I don't know.
Yeah. Let me see. Good morning, Mary, Diane, Karen Henderson, Ronald. Good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. There's Mo Flips. He is Rocky Brook.
Yeah, I told him, I said, he's going to be, I'm calling Mo every time.
Yep, he's Mo.
And his name is not actually Mo.
Oh, yeah. He just lives in Missouri.
Yeah, I didn't know that for a long time.
He's not a Three Stooges. He's a
yeah.
Oh, there's a new name, TJ Horth. Good morning, man. Hello.
Cold in Chicago, definitely. It's cold. Oh, yeah. I'm in Alabama. It's probably in the upper 30s this morning.
Yeah, I don't know what it is outside today here in Northern Virginia, but it's definitely cold because I've been trying to not use my furnace all year. I'm just using my fireplace and space heaters, and it was down in the low 60s in the house this morning, so it's cold outside.
Yeah. 16. Wow. I couldn't deal with cold weather just year round. That's why I've stayed in the South.
Yeah, it's bad enough. This is about as far north as I would ever want to live. And you see here, good morning, Gina. Let me see here, Brenda. Good morning. Brenda's still in her campground in Georgia.
Sorry.
It's all right. Oh my gosh, TJ's in Chicago, right? He said it was 2 degrees outside when he took his dog for a walk.
I have no desire to be around any of that.
No. And Monty's in Texas. Texas is generally warm too, and it's in the upper 20s there. That's freezing in Texas.
Yeah.
I had a guy in Texas buy a winter coat from me, and he's returning it, unfortunately, because he said it didn't fit. But yeah, that's how cold it is. He bought a heavy-duty winter coat for Texas. So.
Wow.
So I hope everyone's doing well. Monty and I were just talking about, Craig and I were just talking about how eBay, and we say this over and over again, all the people that do eBay all the time, it's like, you got to sell, you got to list every day. You got to list, like you list. And like, man, that just doesn't work for me on a personal level, because I got random stuff to do. You got errands to run. You got to go to the grocery store. You got to, Craig's got to pick up his son. You got to, get the oil changed. You got crap to do. So what do you do to combat that? Well, one thing we were talking about was, if you're going to list 25 items in a day, you can hold back 5 of them as drafts to list for the next day if you know you're going to be busy. So what do you guys think about that? Or do you do that? Does anyone else do that?
I haven't done it yet. I know it's good. It makes sense in theory. I don't know if the eBay algorithm would know that those were sitting in drafts, or it just sees activity, or what.
That's what I'd be curious to know is how does eBay see that? If you have those sitting as drafts and you list them to the next day, do they see that as activity?
Yeah, so, is that the same as you sitting down and just banging out and sending live 5 at it?
Absolutely.
Same time. I don't know.
And I would be really interested in someone that knows behind the scenes that the real algorithm and all that stuff, like, and how many listings is good. If you do you do 5 a day? Is 1 a day okay? You know what?
Right. it's a beast of its own, you know. It's anybody that says they understand it, in my opinion, they're lying.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that in a bad way, you know. You know, everybody can make educated guesses. There's a lot of good information out there on that topic. But in the end, if I go in and I change something to try and see how that change, you know, affects Cassini, is it the fact that I made a change, or is it the change that I made itself? You know, the actual change I made. You know, it's hard to determine.
You're right. Is it, you know, a lot of times you make a change and something good happens, like I shifted to free shipping and good things happen. Was that coincidence? I have no idea. You know, I have no way to prove or disprove anything, you know.
And that's frustrating, you know, trying to understand how eBay, what eBay, you know, in the end, I think eBay wants you to use promoted listings, you know, but
yeah, you're right.
That brings money into their pockets. But
yeah, I've started following, I had, you know, Tommy Bernard, right? Yeah. And I started following his method. He told me I should do 1.3% like Monday through Thursday and 2.3% for the weekend. He said, and that'll take care of everything. And I'm in the first week of trying that out and seeing how that goes. So, and again, I don't know if that's actually helping, but like you said, eBay wants more money. So it's
on the promoted side.
Yeah. On the promoted listings. Yeah.
I've been stuck in the 1% flat across the board. I've done the trending +1. It helped. Again, it just in that whole circle of life kind of thing with, did that it really help, or was it just coincidence?
Yeah.
I've tried multiple things. Currently, I don't know who I heard this from. I'm currently doing first 30 days, I don't do any promotions on those items. So if I list an item today, I'm not going to promote it or do any, you know, discounts for 30 days. See if I can get, you know, top dollar, if I can get, you know, my asking price for the first 30 days, and then start doing promoted listings. I mean, I don't have anything that I just got to sell today or any, you know, big ticket items, but I don't know. Just
yeah, I'm the same way, like, because if like good example is my last haul video, I had some pretty unique items, some one-of-a-kind items. Like, who knows if I'm going to list that and someone's looking for it and they're going to buy it instantly. So why would I promote that? You know,
right?
So it's hard to tell.
Yeah. I was I don't know if you caught in the interview last night, Chris. Pretty cool. We started talking. We both had some of the similar history on eBay, and back then there wasn't any worry of, you know, eBay obviously had an algorithm, but it wasn't as intense as it is now. You listed items and items sold.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, you know, as far back as, you know, I've been selling since 97 or 98. Yeah, you just listed it and you didn't worry about it. You picked, you know, because even back when I first started, it was all auctions. There was no buy it now. Well,
yeah, it was a totally different beast back then. Yeah, part of me says I wish they'd just kind of stayed true to that model, you know. But I mean, I think they have to evolve.
I think you're right too. I think it's gotten too involved and too complicated. Like, I wish that, you know, like Poshmark had the numbers. You know, I obviously can't do the sales numbers on Poshmark, but I love their simplified process.
Right.
You know, because now, you know, on eBay, not only do you have to decide auction or buy it now, you also have to decide link to buy it now. Well, now with the recent most seller update, they're going to change everything good to canceled. So they've taken at least one of those variables out, or going to. So we'll see how that works.
I've said it for a month or two now. I really wish there was a platform that was a combination of eBay, Amazon, Posh, and Mercari, because all four of those platforms have very good positive sides. You know, each one has a little bit different spin on things. eBay is never going to become Amazon, you know, in my opinion.
No matter how bad they want to.
And Amazon doesn't want to be eBay.
Yeah.
But eBay does a lot of good things, and Amazon does a lot of good things. I don't know.
Absolutely. Yep. Because with, you know, Amazon, with sheer numbers wise, is fantastic, but their process is extremely complicated, especially if you're doing FBA.
Right.
And I mean, merchant fulfilled is easy, but you don't get the volume with merchant fulfilled. Like, all my stuff is merchant fulfilled, and I made 3 sales this month on Amazon. Right. You know, nothing big. I mean, granted, I only have like 100 items listed on there, but still.
Yeah, I've got to ramp my Amazon stuff back up. I've got about 30 SKUs up there right now, and I think 90+% of them are books right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna start looking into that as well. I got myself one of those cheap scanners, and
Yep.
I'm gonna start hitting the books just because it's such low hanging fruit, you know.
Yeah. Well, I look at books kind of like I do at clothes. There's so many of them out there, and clothing, there's so much of that out there. It's just something I hate to ignore. You know?
Yeah, exactly. It's like leaving money on the ground, just like walking over money. You know, they're like, oh, I don't want to bend over and pick that up. You know?
TJ North asked, where are we located? I'm in Alabama. I'm just south of Birmingham, and Mike is somewhere in Virginia.
Yeah, I'm in Northern Virginia, the suburbs of Washington, D.C. So, the burbs.
Yeah, talking about books, I tried to do the bulk scanning. You know, I've got the like you've got the little cheap scanner, and I went about a week of just scanning every dang book in about 3 thrift stores. I'm like, this is getting old quick. You know,
I wondered that. Do you like hone in on a particular subject?
That not always. Well, I go to the religious area and the textbooks. Yeah, and that's typically all I scan, and I don't even scan all the textbooks. My main thrift store turns books okay. You know, they're not bringing 60 or 70 textbooks out a day, but they'll be 10, 15, 20. So I'll go to the area where I know where they drop all the new textbooks, and I'll hit those up when I'm in there. So it's really it's just a focused effort of, new books and stuff like that when it comes to what I'm scanning.
Do you use a combination of factors, like obviously the margin on it, but you also look at the rank and everything, you know?
I use Scout IQ. Go away. You think I learned that the first time it went off. I use Scout IQ, and I have not gotten away from using their standard triggers that they come with. Okay. They have a lot of them that factor into, like you said, sales rank, profit margin, all that, and they're pretty good default triggers. Some of them, if there's an item that's got a 8 million sales rank and it sells for $1,000, that's worth picking up. It's not going to move quick, but and typically most of my books I'm buying for $1 for paperback and $1.50 for hardback.
So basically, Scout IQ gives you the green light. You're like, yep, going in the cart.
Yeah. unless it's like $1 profit, And I think there are some that are the lower sales rank that have under a $5 profit. Usually it hits you, tells you to buy it. And I do a little bit of thinking when it says buy or accept, but not a lot.
Yeah, just scan it real quick. Look at the margin. Obviously, the condition of the book is a lot of things as well. But yeah, and
I typically do a lot of FBA, and it'll compare your FBA price. If it's a higher margin, a decent margin and a real high sales rank, I'll just merchant fulfill it and let it sit on the shelf over here versus sending it in. Because some of those, obviously, you're not selling, 4 or 5 of those a month.
So your process when you started FBA, did you do a merchant fulfilled first and try to build up to that 40 sales per month? Because that's kind of the break even for the professional account, correct?
I have not. My Amazon history, I opened up an Amazon seller's account back in 2009, I think it was. Mm-hmm. I did only merchant fulfilled. And then when I got back into reselling kind of seriously after about a 10, 12-year hiatus, I did merchant fulfilled. Just didn't have enough, wasn't out scanning books daily, would pick up books every now and then, and just didn't have enough. And then decided, when I decided I was going to go try and scan books, that's when I got the pro account. I was going to scan books, in bulk initially, and do a little bit of RA. That's when I got the pro account. Having the pro account, if you're going to do Amazon, that's the first step in the approval process of being ungated in something. Is if you're gated in, this leather wallet, you'd want to sell it and you want to get ungated. Having a pro account is the first step. So I haven't done a ton of RA, but I've done enough where I've been blocked to, gate on something. So
yeah. And I haven't looked into it too far, but I get so many new tags clothing. It'd be awesome if I was ungated in that stuff on Amazon. But it seems like everything clothing related is gated on Amazon.
Yeah, I haven't tried the clothing there, but I don't buy enough new tags clothes. Yeah, I don't see enough.
Yeah, and we've talked about that, the regional differences between thrifting and stuff. Here in my area, I just find it all the time, and it's just the area, you know.
Yeah.
But where I was talking to Andy, the head picker, he finds so much Harley Davidson stuff, and I never find Harley stuff around here.
Huh. I see T-shirts every now and then. I've got probably 7 or 8 T-shirts sitting around. I don't know how well the regional, you know, most of the stores have their T-shirts branded with their store name, the city, all that. I don't know how much of that is. I hate to use collectible, but you know.
Yeah.
That's about all. New with tag stuff. I haven't bought a ton of clothing, but I've probably only picked up 4 or 5 new with tags items. I just don't see a lot of it in my stores.
Yeah. Well, you know, like I said, it is what it is. You know, it's like, I think here in this area, there's so many people, they're just, you know, there's just more stuff donated, you know, or something, right, you know, along those lines. Because literally the DC metro area's population is 9 million people.
Wow.
It's absurd. It's, you know, and honestly, I do not like it here, but we're here for the foreseeable future. So you got to make the best of it.
Right.
You know? Because hell, I was born in Arkansas. I'm.
Were you where were you? Jonesboro.
Jonesboro, yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
I've only driven through Arkansas. We made the drive from Alabama to Texas last year before last, and we went up through Memphis and cut through the top of Arkansas and ended up all the way over there. It was quite the drive.
Yeah, that if you cut through like the very top instead of taking interstates, the north part of Arkansas is beautiful country, you know. But
right,
as far as living there, I don't think I want to do that again.
I don't remember much about it. I'm trying to think. We ate lunch. We drove from Birmingham straight up to Memphis and had a late lunch. So it was probably late afternoon when we went through, you know, Memphis and West Arkansas, whatever it is. You know, I always thought it was interesting that you had Memphis, and isn't there like a West Memphis that's like an Arkansas address or something?
Yeah, West Memphis is actually Arkansas. Yeah.
I always thought that was odd.
Memphis is right there on the border. You know, the Mississippi River is the border there,
right,
between Arkansas and Tennessee. So, yep. I was born in the Mississippi Delta. So,
I have my mom has family up that way, or had family up that way.
No, what's funny is I've done my genealogy about the past 20 years, and I actually have a professional certification in genealogical studies through Boston University, and my family roots runs deep in Alabama.
Really?
Deep. Oh yeah.
Is there a certain area in Alabama, or is it
Winston?
There's Winston County. I'm familiar.
Yeah, Winston County, Alabama. Deep in that area.
Huh.
So, yeah.
I couldn't tell you where it was. I know I've heard of it though.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you either, honestly.
That's what Google's for.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm curious.
It's probably rural Alabama, if I had any guess.
I think what I've heard of is there's a lot of hunting camps down that way.
Yeah.
Double Springs, Arley, Haley. Okay. So it's kind of up that way, headed up towards Memphis, it looks like, from Birmingham at least. Cool.
Interesting. I've never been. Actually, let me see. I've only been to southern Alabama. You know, I've been to Orange Beach several times, and
right.
Yeah, really never been around the rest of the part of the state. So
it's not bad. I can't complain. I've never lived anywhere but here.
Yep. See, that's what the dichotomy between us, because I've lived all over the country.
I grew up about an hour south of Birmingham in Montgomery, which is the capital, and have been up here since I came to college in 1988.
Where did you go to college, Craig?
About every college in the state of Alabama. I started out as a small college called Birmingham Southern. It was a private school at the time. 2 years there, mom and dad, I had a great time, enjoyed life. Mom and dad said, I'm not spending this kind of money for you to have a good time. You know, I wasn't making grades like I should have. So I went home for about a semester, a quarter, whatever that was at the time, and said, now that I've been out of the house for a year, 2 years, I can't live at home anymore. And I went to school. I went to school for a quarter there, local school in Montgomery, and then came back to Birmingham and went to UAB. That's where I met my wife, University of Alabama, Birmingham.
Okay, UAB.
So
Yep. Arkansas's current basketball coach, who's about to get fired, coached at UAB for a while. Mike
Anderson. Yep.
He had him rolling it at UAB. Maybe should have stayed there in Mizzou and not came to Arkansas, because he hasn't done jack at Arkansas.
His first couple of years everywhere is usually pretty good. He didn't do pretty good because he was at UAB, Missouri, and Arkansas, right? Because the first year at Arkansas, he did pretty well, didn't he?
He's made the tournament a few times, but at Arkansas, we expect to go deep in the tournament. Because he got the job because he was Nolan Richardson's assistant when we won the national championship in the 90s. Right. So
40 minutes of hell, wasn't it? Isn't that what they called it?
Yeah. They just had that replay of when we beat Duke in the national title game last night on the ESPN Classic. So
college basketball is my thing. I love any kind of sport, but college football, college basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. What we got going in the chat over here? We got Tommy Bernard's in here. Welcome, man. Glenn, the swamp picker, he said he raced in Maplesville, Alabama.
I'm not far from Maplesville. I'm about 30 minutes.
I was talking to I don't know exactly your background, Craig, but you seem kind of technically savvy.
Yeah.
If anyone hasn't watched Craig's video about his extension he is building for Google Chrome, you should watch that. He is currently in beta testing, which I'm, every day I try to tinker with his extension, and it's pretty awesome if you go check out that video. So tell us a little bit about that, Craig.
So this extension, the name of it is iProfit IQ. It's in the Google Chrome store right now. It's not public yet. It is used for online arbitrage or retail arbitrage. There's kind of a gray area in between those, but it's primarily used on Walmart.com. So if you go to Walmart.com and you want to research an item and to find out whether you want to sell it or not, there is not an easy way to search that item on Amazon or eBay to do comps. So you can't find the UPC code. So this plugin, you'll drill down into a product detail page on Walmart, and then you click this little button up in the tab up in the top of the screen, and it will pull up links directly to eBay, links directly to Amazon, the SOLDS on eBay, the active, all the items you would need to go to do research on that item. And what it's doing is it's just pulling that UPC code out of the Walmart website and passing that along to all the searches on those sites. I've gotten a pretty good response out of the people that are testing it so far.
Yeah, I just tinkered with it a little bit, and I don't really do a lot of retail arbitrage, but man, it's an awesome looking tool. I loved how you can just go to that product, click that link, and it pops it up on Amazon or pops it up on eBay. It's a very, very user friendly. You don't have to be tech savvy at all. Right.
The roadmap moving forward is I'm gonna have a version that will actually, instead of having to click the links and go off to the site, it's going to pull everything into that one little pop-up screen. So it's going to use the Amazon API to pull in what the current price is, how many sellers there are, what the sales rank is, go off to eBay and pull in how many active items there are, what the sell-through rate is, all that stuff, and all be presented on the screen without having to click away from it.
Even better. That's pretty awesome.
Tommy was asking if we had to click on everything or is it just graph? You actually click on the item. I mean, if you're not opposed to it, Mike, I'll show it real quick.
Go ahead. Yeah, that's fine.
Give me a second. Let me grab a Walmart item.
I'm reading the comments here and hope everyone's doing well today. We got Johnny B. Thrift Finds. Welcome. Candace Hicks. Funny girl. Welcome. Max Hustle. Longtime supporter. Chad, the reseller Rockefeller. Chad helped me out on an item that I had from a haul video. You guys, if you've watched the haul video, I had that Wings leather suitcase, and it's awesome and brand new with the tags. And Chad has actually sold one of those used several years ago. Chad actually sold one of those used for like $245 a couple of years ago. So that helped me price my suitcase. I actually priced it super high because of that. I priced it at like $499 with best offer.
S Grovetown, that's Sean, isn't that his first name?
Yeah, Sean.
He can pull the UPC from Walmart.com site. Never played around with the APIs. So, Grovetown, is it that you're going in and viewing the source code of the page and grabbing it? I know that's a lot of people that do that. This is pretty much doing that work for you. That was the intent of this initially, was just if people were doing that, it's 3 or 4 clicks to get to that data. You got to search, you got to find the UPC. This is taking that manual process part of the process out. Was the original, and that's why I started doing this. me share my screen real quick, and I hate to hijack everything, but if we're on that topic. Everybody see it?
Yep.
So assume I'm trying to sell. I know this item doesn't have any value for resale, but a TI calculator. I've drilled down into this product. Got this little red box with the P in it. It's iProfit IQ. I click on it. Comes up, gives me the title directly from the Walmart page. It pulls the UPC into the screen, tells me what Walmart is charging for it, and here's all the links I would need to research this item to see if I want to sell it. So I can click on the Amazon UPC search results, which is going to do a search directly on that UPC on Amazon, so I can see what they're selling for. I can go directly to, if I'm logged in to my Amazon account, it will take me directly to where I can add that item to my inventory or get ungated on it if it's gated. I can go look at eBay SOLDS. I can look at eBay actives. So it's ultimately, like I said, all this stuff would be pulled into it. But it's giving you all the information you need to make a good decision. So pretty basic in its functionality, but it's a time saver, and it takes that manual process out.
Yep, there you go. See, there's a lot of stuff out there, but this really simplifies everything in my mind. From a novice perspective.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
Yeah, turn it off. Okay, let's stop.
That's all right. We had an off-topic question. Somebody wanted to know the real story with the UAB football program. Was it the true story about Alabama shutting them down?
I believe that. I believe that's the case. Don't hold me to it. I'm not saying I know everything about it, but yeah, I think that was it. A lot of times UAB would try and recruit a new coach, and if it was a better coach or somebody that Alabama had been pursuing at one point, they were like, nope, you can't hire that person.
Man,
it's crazy.
That's just terrible.
But they're back. The last year they had a program before they shut it down. They were playoff eligible.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? That's what struck me weird about the whole thing is that it's not like they were a horrible program. They were actually good.
Right.
I don't get it. You see Rusted Raccoons to cool your diversifying your portfolio. That's what we're all about, diversifying our portfolio.
Aaron Henderson, you're a genius. I assume you're talking to me. Yeah, I appreciate those words, but I'm far from that for sure.
No, it's funny. My background is in business. I've owned my own business, retail locations, stuff, degrees in business stuff, but I always wanted to learn, Python and stuff like that, but I just never sat down and did it, so I think it's awesome. That stuff. What code did you use for that? Did you use Java or Python?
It's done with JavaScript.
Java, yep.
There's some limitations of Chrome and extension development that require you to use HTML5 and JavaScript, and there's a lot of limitations. So, yeah. I mean, the coding is pretty basic. Sean, it's actually published out there. It's not live yet. If you're interested, you can email me at landsharkpicker@gmail.com, and I will send you the link to it if you want to try it. Anybody wants to try it while it's in beta, just email me, and I'll send you the link, and you can install it directly from the Chrome store.
And of course, for all our YouTubers and stuff, Craig is being nice, letting you guys use this as a beta test, but eventually he does want to get paid. So
it'll be a small fee. I haven't really decided with the version the way it works right now. Probably be a $7.99, $9.99, something like that one time. The pro version will actually pull everything in from all the APIs. It's going to be a monthly subscription once I get it ready.
Cool. Okay, so I'm going to do my YouTube recap real quick. Let me see. Here's something I like to do that everybody seems to like it, is go over our YouTube numbers. I'm at 1,558 subscribers currently. It's weird. YouTube and eBay is similar. It's kind of like we've talked about low peaks and valleys and stuff, and it seems like on YouTube it's the same way. Like I'll get stuck in, like I was stuck in the 1520s for a week, and then I blew through the 30s and 40s into the 50s, and now I've been stuck in the 50s for a week. It's just weird how that happens, but I'm not complaining. Trust me. So over to YouTube Studio, our real-time views over the past 48 hours is 870. The top video the past 48 hours is our haul video with 436 views. We have 164,000 and change watch minutes the past 28 days. That's held pretty static in that range. 12,782 views the past 28 days. Average watch time is actually dipped under 13 minutes for the first time in a long time. That's my fault because I didn't get some videos out a couple of times. Estimated revenue the past 28 days, the number what everyone wants to see is $88.09. Woohoo!
Money, money, money. don't plan on retiring off that yet.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. You can maybe like live in a campground if it was free. 60% of views from subscribers, almost 40% either not subscribed or unknown. What's up with that? Subscribe, people.
I've definitely seen that YouTube is a lot like eBay in the respects of being regular. Like we were talking about listing regular on eBay, posting regular on YouTube affects these type of statistics you're looking at.
It does, 100%. Like I skipped the live video on Monday, and I apologize for that, people. That was my fault. I just wasn't, had other stuff to do and wasn't into it. But yeah, posting regularly, and even and that's tough. And that's especially on weekends like this past weekend. We did that special video on Saturday with our backdrop, which I think people liked. But man, that's sometimes you just want to break, But it's like YouTube rewards that constant pushing out of content, So it's a job for sure. The past 28 days, the top video the past 28 days is episode 83, 25 items are sold on eBay with 13,161 watch minutes. And the top 3 out of the top 5 are sold videos, of course. That sold videos are always the most popular. The what sold videos. So that's it. That's the recap. So you guys in the chat have any questions and stuff, hit us up with it. Lauren, Hot Chic Thrift, welcome. She said eBay has really picked up for her this week. That's awesome. People must be receiving their tax returns. People are getting tax refunds.
I need to find out how that works.
No doubt. I'm doing, of course, specifics or whatever, but I'm going to do mine next week, or have my numbers, get all my numbers ready and all my paperwork and send it to the CPA and cross my finger that at least I don't owe anything is what I'm hoping. So there's Justin, RVA Flips. Hey man, welcome. Craig and I will be wrapping up about 10 o'clock to 10:15. So just to let everyone know and let Justin know. So,
Yeah. Swamp Glenn says, I wish my Poshmark followers 20,800 were the same as for my YouTube. Yeah, definitely.
Holy smoke, Swamp. Yeah. I wonder how long you've been on Posh, Swamp. How long did it take to get that many followers? I think I have about 500.
There's ways to get that up.
Yeah.
I haven't dedicated too much time to Posh. That just a lot of the sharing and the ways to get followers and all that seems mindless to me. I'm not bashing anybody that does it. It's a good marketplace, but I haven't found my comfort level with it yet.
It is, and maybe there's something out there. Maybe you know how to do this, but maybe I wish there was almost a macro to share everything, because I don't want to sit there and click and click and click and click and click.
There's ways to do that programming wise, but I think it's against the terms of service with Poshmark.
I imagine it is, but like I said, it's so mindless.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I do it, I'm sitting there watching TV. I'm just like click and click.
I'll go out there and do it once a week if I do it that. If I'm just like I'm sitting there, like you're saying, watching TV and nothing else to do, I'm like, okay, let me go do this.
What's your Posh store so I can save it?
I think it's just my name, Craig Murray. Let me double check it.
Okay.
It's just scary. I don't know enough about it.
Fishing and Picking says you can live in Indian Acres Club of Thornburg Campground on your YouTube money. It is in Spotsylvania, Virginia, which is the south of me. It's by Fredericksburg for $1,000 a year. It's a dump. Yep, could live there, right? I don't know how good of living it is, but L24 Picker has 4,571 followers on Posh, and some big time.
I haven't got to the point where I'm cross posting enough over there. I've got I'm following 13,000 people, and I've got 8,500 followers.
80. That's pretty good. That's
2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I've got 11 items though, and that's it.
Oh, okay. I think I popped over 100 listings just last week. You know, just cross posting from eBay, of course.
That's what I need to do. I need to go up there and push all my stuff over. I wish it was. God, I wish somebody had a place where you could use one platform as your primary, and then just cross post with the click of a mouse. You know, I want to push everything. I want to post all my clothing to Posh. I want to push everything to Macari. I want to push. I know there's a lot of tools that allow you to do that, but nothing that's all inclusive.
Yeah, absolutely. I've thought of that often, you know, and that's why for a while I had a Bonanza account, but man, they're a mess. You know, it's good in thought, but not good in execution.
That's one I've never looked at.
I mean, I was only making like, you know, 4 or 5 sales a month, literally, but you know, a little bit here, a little bit there, it all adds up.
Right.
They would literally, you know, their whole thing was they would automatically import your eBay listings. And when something sold on Bonanza, they would automatically end the eBay listing. Well, they weren't doing that part. And that hurt me a couple of times where they didn't delete it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I got double tapped a couple of times and I was like, screw it. It's not worth it. So I just closed Bonanza.
And at some point there's that, I don't want to say break even point, but you know, if I'm going to spend, like using Posh, for example, the amount of time I need to put into Posh, am I going to make enough money to justify spending that amount of time?
Right.
As a secondary, you know,
Yeah.
eBay is my primary. Amazon is pretty much my secondary. Anything else is down the list and doesn't get much attention, you know?
Yep. There you go.
I can see being very successful on Poshmark if it was my primary and I gave it a lot of attention, but that's just not my model.
Absolutely. Yeah. My primary is eBay and it will be for the foreseeable future. There's no way around that. Lots of Josh said next plugin idea, Craig, auto crosslister. Man, that would be a massive project. That would be a horrendous.
Yeah, a lot of the platforms have APIs where you can do that kind of stuff. I don't think Poshmark does. I think they're one of the ones that doesn't. I'm not sure.
L, the 24 picker, said Sailhound is working on that or something like that. So.
I have heard of Saleshound. Somebody did a video on that 6-8 months ago that I watched. I don't remember much about it though.
Yeah. TJ for the Horth as a question. I opened my new eBay account last week and posted some items. As a new account, how long does it take PayPal to hold my funds? I've heard it's 90 days, but how am I supposed to reinvest? 90 days seems like that's excessive. I thought it was
2 weeks, maybe
2 weeks, yeah, or something.
Yeah, I opened I've had my store open for a while. I don't remember what the limitations were.
I'm the same way. It's been so long since I've opened a PayPal account, but 90 days sounds excessive. So if anybody knows, please help him out in the chat.
My guess is in the 2 weeks. I mean, but don't hold me to that. I don't know if that's right or not.
Yeah. They're talking about 80s movies. What's your favorite 80s movie, Craig?
Favorite 80s movies. We're talking, I don't know who I was talking with the other day. Not my favorite, but the oddest movie from the 80s was the Faces of Death series.
Oh God, that stuff was
that was far from being my favorite.
I saw one of those in a drive-in movie in the early 90s.
Wow.
Pretty weird.
You know, in the 80s, I graduated high school in 88. So 80s, you know, the upper end of the 80s was my high school time. Being in high school, a lot of the teen beach movies were popular. Golly, what were some of them?
I'd say my favorite. This is just my favorites from the 80s that I can remember off the top of my head. First is Weird Science.
Weird Science was a good one.
That chick was hot. And
Curly hair.
Number 2 for me is the Porky's.
Porky's, yep.
I love that movie. And number 3 was Cannonball Run. It's just one of my favorites of all time. The original Cannonball Run with Burt Reynolds, you know, Dom DeLuise. I think that was. And also the original Friday the 13th, but that was actually late 70s, I think. So
yeah. Remember things like Fast Times at Ridgemont High. You know, a lot of the beach teen.
Oh yeah,
like California type movies. There were
Pretty in Pink, Breakfast Club.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff. Valley Girl, yeah, somebody said. There you go. Somebody said Fast Time at Ridgemont High. Yeah.
I don't remember much about it. I remember watching it a lot, but I mean, I was probably being a male and being in high school. So
Absolutely. Yeah. It's something that today I probably wouldn't sit down and watch, but back then, yeah.
It's the best thing you can get on public TV.
I know that's just, about growing up poor in Arkansas. We didn't have cable. We had, you got your over the air channels, which was 3 channels at max,
Right.
Max, great shows, Mike. Yeah. That's some of my just good memories of watching those. I remember it wasn't the original Friday the 13th, but it was like Friday the 13th 4 or 5 or something.
Or 18 or 19 or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. But I was only like 10 when it came out. To me and my cousin, who was the same age as I was, my aunt took us to the movie theater, bought us the tickets, and said, "Go watch it." And we went in, because it was rated R, and walked in and watched it. Yeah. All right. Lauren, Justin, Mike, and Glenn, I am going to be listing like crazy this weekend if anyone wants to do a working hangout. That's possible, Lauren. A Saturday, because I'm out thrifting on Sunday. So
definitely.
Yeah.
I need to catch up. I've been slacking. I do a little bit of, I hate to call it side work. It's just another full-time job is doing website stuff, and that's consumed a lot of my time. So I haven't really listed in 3 or 4 days.
Especially during slow times, you got to have that kind of side hustle just to make ends meet,
Right.
I was thinking that, me and my wife was actually talking about this morning. She has a full-time job, which is fantastic. But I'm as guilty of this as anyone. I get sometimes stuck on the micro, like February was horrible. And I'm like, February sucked. This is so bad. What I need to do different stuff. Well, I got to keep my focus on the macro. Like, it's going to be okay for the year. February may have been bad, but the whole year is going to be okay. And I know that. So,
right. Well, sometimes that curve spikes and sometimes it dips, Yeah.
Like, I've only did X dollars in February, but, March or April or May or whichever month may go up. It may go down. Who knows? But overall for the year, I think are going to be okay.
Right. Yeah, Max Hustle says Children of the Corn freaked me out. Yeah, I remember that. That was a crazy movie.
Yeah, that one freaked me out too. And Cujo, man, and Christine, the Stephen King movies, Christine and Cujo. Oh man.
What was the one about the doll? The little freaky doll. Chucky, yeah.
Oh man. Wicked stuff, man.
I watched some. I never really got big into horror movies,
But every once in a while you'd see one and stuff. You're like, yeah. And there was Halloween with Michael Myers. Oh man.
I mean, when all the stuff gets out to like the 15th and 16th, not episode, but whatever series, whatever it's called.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, you're just trying to make more money on this thing.
And they literally made like a Jason versus Freddy movie. Nightmare on Elm Street. They did a Jason from, Friday the 13th versus Freddy. Like, seriously, come on. Talking about a money grab.
For sure.
That was another scary one. Was the original Friday the 13th, right? Because that came out in like 85 or so.
Yeah, it was early to mid 80s, I think.
Yeah.
That was the original one was good.
Yeah, it was.
Maybe the second was good, but I think anything after that on any of those were a stretch.
The Georgia Pickers, it's just how, nothing is black and white. The Georgia Picker said February was really good for them. They were selling Walmart clearance toys. That's awesome, man. I think Justin talked about that kind of bailed him out when he started hitting, the clearance toys and doing Amazon, FBA. It really helped out because eBay was so down.
It seems like that's kind of seasonal, though. Probably the stuff that people were picking up that were selling in February, stuff that was going on clearance from Christmas.
That's a good strategy, though. If it floats you through that lull, whatever you can do.
Just gotta, if there's bad times, you just gotta adjust. Be prepared for it. It seems like it's a swing. Textbook seasons are this month and this month. You gotta.
Yeah. And like right now, it's places. Even thrift stores are putting all their winter stuff on clearance. It's time to buy that stuff. I know the season's coming to an end, but man, it's time to pick it up.
Yeah. One thing I regret, and I'm not afraid to say, show my weaknesses or anything like that, but I did not hit yard sales and estate sales last year as hard as I should have. And I'm paying for it now.
Yeah.
I'm still able to source, auctions and stuff like that. But, yard sales around here, that's where you're getting things for pennies on the dollar. That's where you make your real money, at least around here. I just got to hit it harder than I hit it last year.
I was about to say, and you learned that lesson, right? So this year you're going to smash it.
Right. Well, last year I was just doing it part-time. There wasn't I've got to make a house payment in a month. I need to be out there buying everything I can, kind of thing,
Yeah, and a lot of people look at that like you're spending money. Well, you got to spend that money to make the money. So that's just what it is. Like you can take this dollar and turn it into 20. You're going to do it, Yeah,
that was something that was kind of a challenge for me. I've always enjoyed selling on eBay. Doing it part-time and having a very well-paying full-time job, there wasn't stress. It wasn't, I could afford to just go out and look for, home run items, not just, big home run items, but those things I know I can make good money on versus picking up, decent profits. I didn't have to pick up those smaller items.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm finding that I need to change my mindset and, pick up things I can make $10, $12, $15 on to fill my store, Yeah,
I get that. Yeah, I understand. Because we all have, strategies and stuff that we shift from time to time and stuff. Like me, I've shifted away from the used clothing, stuff I could probably make $10 on, but I've kind of shifted away from that strictly from an inventory perspective because, man, I am boxing myself in. People can see it behind me, but I had to shift strictly from a storage perspective,
Right.
Because around me, I know a lot of people have suggested, well, you need to get a storage unit and this stuff and that stuff. But storage units are so expensive here. Like a 10 by 20 unit is $300 a month here.
Wow. I
don't necessarily want to do that,
I don't use it for my reselling business, but I've got a 10 by 20, and then I think we have a 5 by 10. 5 by 10, 5 by 5, something like that. I think I pay $180 a month.
Yeah. See, and that's doable. If I could find something like that, of course I'm not going to here, but yeah, I would do that. But because if you do that, say 180 a month, you only have to sell, 5 or 6 things, and it probably pays for that,
Right. Tiffany says, hey, Tiffany, how are you?
Oh, hey, Tiffany, how's it going? Sorry, we haven't been paying attention to the chat that much. If I was by myself, I would be totally focused on the chat. But when me and Craig are just bouncing back and forth, and that's what these shows are about usually. So, hope everyone's enjoying it. Probably go ahead and wrap up here in the next 5 minutes or so. If anyone has any other comments or questions, hope we're up to 55 watchers. So that's really good. If you can hit that thumbs up, we do appreciate it. So
appreciate everybody coming in for sure.
Yeah, and I'm pretty positive we probably don't have anyone here that's not subscribed to Craig, but we're going to link his channel, and please subscribe to him. Once we get Craig monetized, we're going to start alternating the show, probably maybe weekly. I don't know. We haven't talked specifics yet, but we want to get Craig monetized and start bouncing the show back and forth between us.
Yeah.
If you want to link your channel, Craig, that'd be.
Yeah, I got it. Actually,
and what were you at, Craig, subscribers wise? And
I'm right under 890.
So he's only got like 110 subscribers to go to his subscriber count, and then we got to get his watch minutes or his watch time. So
and I'm pretty close on that. I'm at like 3,400.
There you go. So only 600 hours. That's in the grand scheme, that's not much. So
yeah. I don't want to get there. I'm just I'm in no hurry. I don't want it to happen today, tomorrow, but I'd rather not work hard for it, but just
let nature take its course. Essentially, yeah. I'm the same way. I mean, I've read articles about how to pump up your eBay business. I'm kind of studious like that. I want to learn the ins and outs, the ups and the downs and stuff. But it seems like all these articles recommending nefarious stuff. Have you heard of people actually buying YouTube subscribers, Craig?
I have seen that.
And to me, there's no point in that, because if you're buying YouTube subscribers, you're not going to get views or watchers or likes or anything. So I don't understand people that would do that,
Right. And in the end, you're not going to make money off of subscribers. You're going to make money off views.
Yeah, exactly.
What good does that do you?
Like the times I get super chats are real fans, real viewers, real subscribers. They're not doing it. You know, there's no, if you bought a subscriber, they're not even watching, much less giving super chats or anything like that. You know,
I've seen channels that have 5,000-6,000 subscribers, and they've got videos that are getting 60, 70 views.
I know. Isn't that true? And some, you know, of course I will never name names, but it's pretty easy to go to other YouTubers. It's not even, you know, flippers like us or pickers like us channels. And you can look at my, you know, say one of my sold videos. My last sold video has almost 1,200 views and I have 1,500 subscribers. Well, that's freaking awesome. You know, that's, you know, that shows my subscribers are real subscribers and they're watching, you know,
right.
Whereas you can go to someone with 20,000 subscribers and they have the same amount of views. And you're like, what in the world is going on there? You know, to me, that's probably bought subscribers, you know?
Yeah.
It just doesn't add up. You know, it's like, do the math, you know?
I wonder if YouTube is going to catch on to that model of buying subs. I don't know how they would do it, but
you would think, you know, they cracked down recently on that child exploitation stuff and they banned a lot of accounts for that stuff, you know? But you would think they would have to because, you know, they don't want fake stuff. You wouldn't think they would. Anyway.
Right. Yep.
See, Glenn says you have 776 now.
Nice.
It's awesome.
That's what's been nice about this community is everybody's so supportive of everybody else, you know?
They are, yeah. For the most part, they 100% are, yeah. You know, everyone has their own unique personality and, you know, quirks and stuff, but they're generally supportive, you know? So,
yeah.
Like I've talked about the history of my, you know, doing stuff, and Andy, the Parrot Picker, which I know he wishes he could do more, but he works a full-time job and still has, you know, does what he does. Man, that dude's amazing. You know?
He puts in a lot of hours for sure.
Yeah. I think he's one of those people that can literally get, you know, 4 or 5 hours of sleep per night and still function. You know, I couldn't do that. But
I used to be able to do that. I can't do it anymore.
I got to have my, you know, at least 7, but, you know, closer to 8 for sure.
Kelly the Ecom. Maybe you could buy subscribers and resell them for more to someone else. We have a plan.
Okay, guys, we're going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, Craig and I will be back again on Friday at 9:15. We'll try to, you know, mine some topics and stuff, but it may just be us riffing back and forth. Who knows? But I hope you enjoyed it. Say bye to everyone, Craig.
Enjoyed it. I appreciate everybody joining. Hope everybody has a good day.
All right, guys. Thanks.